नमस्कारः महोदय.
Namaskar. So last time we have seen there is some disturbance. Just give me 1 minute. So we had started with the Varna, the concept of Varna, and then we have also seen how a script, how we write in Devanagari, especially the absorption of akara in the consonant, in the vyanjanas, and also the top to bottom or left to right sequence of various consonants. And then the concept of vowel sign, or which we call matra in Hindi. These concepts we saw last time. And now, today onwards, we will be looking at what is a word, how and what are the different word forms that are used in Sanskrit, how these word forms change according to the ending letter or the gender or number and so on. And then there are tools already available for which will show you various word forms. You need not memorize the word forms, but if somebody wants to memorize the word forms, again, those that tables will be available and one can memorize the word forms. So today,
Hello, ma'am.
yes.
Yeah, the notification sound has been being a disturbance. Can you please turn it off, ma'am?
Yes.
People coming in and coming off.
Yes, there is this. Even I have this annoying sound, and
Yeah,
I don't know how
we're
to.
not able to hear you properly because of that.
Yeah, and I do not know how to put it off. There is some problem. Actually, we will be shifting to Zoom. We are working on it. Please give us 1 or 2 days, and we will be moving to Zoom. There were some technical problems.
Madam, if you share your screen, actually on
Yes.
the right top corner, you will see the settings, and
Uh-huh.
then there will be an option to switch off the notifications.
I do not see that one.
Are you having Google Classroom admin credentials?
Yes. But I could not see that anywhere. I have the credentials.
Okay. Could you share your screen? We can.
Yeah, sure. Just a minute. Yeah. So here I have the host controls, but I could not see.
Not here. Can you open a new tab and go to the classroom? There will be settings.
Oh, I see. I have to go to Google Classroom.
Yes.
Okay.
Settings.
Extremely sorry for all this annoyance.
Yeah, on the left top corner, you see that hamburger menu. Yeah, and click on settings. And if you scroll down, class notifications. Yeah, expand that. Yeah, disable it.
I don't have here.
Yeah, it was enabled. You see that toggle, right?
Okay, fine. But still the sound is there. Maybe, Malay, will you please start recording? I will stop the recording and Malay can start. So this noise won't be there. Hello, Malay.
Yes, ma'am. I have already started the recording.
You have started the recording.
Yes, yes.
But then I had also started. There won't be any problem. but still this sound is there.
Ma'am, may I just say something?
Yes.
This entry approval is only required when somebody outside the calendar joins. I think every participant needs to say a yes.
No,
to
no,
the-
that already, no, already I had said that, I have said, I have the setting. See here, I have given quick access.
but
Okay.
they all need to say a yes to the meeting. I think not many have said a yes to the calendar invite.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the problem. Yes, they have not said yes. That is the problem. Yeah. Anyway, we will be shifting to Zoom, and this will not be a problem. But I'm extremely sorry for all these annoyance. Okay, so let me switch over to this. Even I am getting disturbed because of these noises. So today onwards, we will be looking at the different word forms, and my student Dr. Arjun, who is now assistant professor at Manipal Education, Manipal Mahe in Manipal University. He will be delivering the classes. He has a background of, he studied in Gurukula system, and his specialization was in Indian logic, the Nyaya philosophy, and he especially was interested in the technical language of this Nyaya school, which is called Navya Nyaya, New School of Indian Logic. They had developed a very uh, very important, very structured language, which is unambiguous language for knowledge representation. And they use this language not only for representing the knowledge, that can be the perception, or it can be the verbal knowledge, or even the definitions they used to give using this language. So this language is as unambiguous as we can treat it as something like a mathematical language. The importance of mathematical language in sciences, it's as important as that. And he worked on this language. It was very difficult to understand the expressions in such languages. So what he did was developed a module which will represent these expressions in the form of a conceptual graph. Conceptual graph is a method of representation used by the AI people for knowledge representation. So this is what he worked on during his PhD. He worked with me on this topic, and now for last few years he has been with the Manipal University, and he will be delivering few classes on the word generator. So over to Arjun.
Yeah, thank you, Ai. I think I will, let me share my presentation. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Okay. I hope my presentation is visible for all of you.
No,
Yes.
no.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay.
Yes, it's visible.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I think mistake. Let me share my entire screen. That would be helpful for the demo session as well. Okay. Namaste. Shubha Sayam. आपादमौलिपर्यन्तं गुरूणाम् आकृतिं स्मरेत् तेन विघ्नाः प्रणश्यन्ति सिद्ध्यन्ति च मनोरथाः कृष्णं वन्दे मन्थपाशधरं दिव्यार्धकाकृतिं शिखाबन्धत्रयोपेतं भैष्मीमध्वकरार्चितम् Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. I once again welcome all of you to this online course to learn Sanskrit through computational linguistics tools, which is called as Samsadhani Praveshika. Today, we will be discussing on word generator, Pada Nishpadika, how it is helpful in our the process of learning of Sanskrit language. Before that, I must apologize for my voice because I was not well for a couple of days, so my voice is little low. If you are not able to hear me properly, please let me know. I will try to speak louder. Okay. Okay. So basically, you are interested in learning a language. So how a language can be learned? First of all, we must know that Bhashanat, there is a saying that Bhashanat Bhasha. A Bhasha, a language, can be called as a language by just speaking it. We have to speak in that language, then only we can call that particular language as language. Okay. Uh, we speak, yes, we want to speak in Sanskrit, we want to understand Sanskrit, but how to do that? So there are two fundamental aspects in it. One is speaking and another one is listening. Why? I mean, there are other two aspects to a language in general, which are reading and writing. That part I'm not focusing on in this particular part. Why? Because see, these two are most important one when we are learning a language. Because this Sanskrit especially was maintained. I mean, it has a tradition of oral conversation. Oral tradition was the tradition which was followed in the case of Sanskrit language. All the philosophical schools which are I mean, which we study nowadays also. So those all philosophical schools are um, come to us through oral tradition. This is what in the Gurukula also, if we look at the Gurukula system also, they prefer the oral tradition more than the writing tradition. And also we all know that writing tradition is recently introduced one than the oral tradition. So if we have to learn a language, we have to speak that particular language, and if we have to speak, we have to understand what others also say. So we have to carefully listen, not just hear it, we have to listen. So speaking and listening is two important aspects we have to focus. So if we have to speak or listen, what is important? Vyakaranam is the important. What is Vyakaranam? Grammar. Grammar is an important aspect of language which is applicable to any language. So in the case of Sanskrit also, Vyakaranam plays a very important role. Okay. So we will be discussing that what is the text which is used for which will discuss about the Vyakarana in the case of Sanskrit, which is Ashtadhyayi, with a text which has 8 chapters in it, which is written by Panini. So we will discuss about that particular text later. But grammar plays an important role in learning a language. So in the I mean, if we know the grammatical aspects, then we can uh, comfortably say that we are familiar with that particular language. Sorry. So in that, Varnaha is the fundamental one we have already discussed in the previous session. Now we will be looking at the padas, which are the next after the Varnas. Padas are important. We have to know about them. So now we will be looking at the padas. Okay, pada is a Sanskrit word for Varna. What is a pada? What can be called as a pada? In Panini's grammar, Ashtadhyayi, he defines it as Suptinantam Padam. This is a rule given by Panini. Sup ting antam padam. Okay, what does it mean? It means a string of letters that ends in either a sup or a ting suffix. Okay, sup and ting are suffixes. Okay, what is that? We will come to know. We will discuss that in later stage. But a string of letters that ends in either a sup or a ting suffix. So sorry. Now we have to know what is sup. So sup is a set of nominal suffixes which are like su, aujas, auchas, and so on and so forth. There are 21 such suffixes which is applicable to nominal stem, which is called as pratipadika. In Sanskrit, nominal stem is called as pratipadika. These suffixes, set of nominal suffixes, will be applied to that pratipadika, which will create a particular word. And another term we have seen, which is thing. What is that? It is a set of verbal suffixes which are 18 in number. Okay, it is applicable to only verbal root, which is called as dhatus. In the case of Sanskrit, verbal root is called as dhatu. Dhatu will be joining with a thing suffix, and it creates a verb. Okay, so we will look into the examples in near future. Okay, so don't worry. So this point is clear, I assume. What is padam? According to grammarians, supting antam padam, a string of letters that ends in either a sup, sorry, or a ting suffix. Okay. So what is sup? A set of nomin. So it is clear. Sup always related to a noun. Ting is always related to a verb. Okay. So a pada can be a nama pada, noun, or a kriya pada, a verb. Okay. But are we going to discuss the both nama pada and kriya pada today? No. We will be looking at only nama padas today, because we have just started this particular course. We must not rush into that. We may it looks like these are all in the languages which I know comfortably. I know which can be nouns, which can be verb. The concept of nouns and verbs are also might be familiar for you, but uh, in the process of learning a new language, better to go step by step. So why after, I mean, by the end of this session, maybe you will come to know, oh, it is good that we are discussing only namapadas today. Okay, let's look into the namapadas. In any namapada, okay, in any noun, we will be having numbers, right? When a noun form changes with the number, that is very simple, right? For instance, in the case of English, in the singular form, girl, plural will be girls. Okay, in Hindi, ladka will be there, and it will be in the plural form, it will be ladke, right? So these, whenever the number changes, the noun form also changes. It won't be similar to the uh, another number. But in English and in any other languages, modern languages, we have only two numbers, which are singular and plural, right? But in the case of Sanskrit, it is not. There is an additional number which is dual. Okay. In singular is called eka vachana, single eka. You know, in the process of learning these technical terms, you are also acquiring the knowledge of Sanskrit words. So you have to keep that aspect also when you are understanding these concepts. Okay, so eka, singular is defined as eka, and number is called as vachana. So number vachana in this particular case, because it is a grammatical term, vachana is. So that's why, and equivalent technical term used in the modern languages, particularly in English, which is number. Though that's why we are defining number as vachana. But in general, number can be called as sankhya. The translation of word number will be sankhya. That's a different story. But the technical term, grammatical term number will be called as vachanam. And there are three vachanas here: eka vachana, dvi vachana, and bahu vachana. Eka vachana is singular, bahu vachana is plural. Okay, eka single, bahu plural. But there is another new number which is dvivachana, which is common in Sanskrit language. The examples of a word which is used in all the three vachanas are balakaha, balakau, balakaha. Okay, balakaha singular form, balakau dual form. In plural, it will be balakaha, which means balakaha, a boy, balakau, two boys, balakaha, many boys, more than two boys. Okay, so in English or in any other modern languages, we use two, the number, the sankhya will be added to that particular noun. But in the case of Sanskrit, it won't be like that. So vachana, whenever the vachana changes, the form also changes. Okay, so we have to give attention to the concept of vachana also. When we are dealing with a particular noun, we have to look at the information, the vachana information as well. Next comes the case, the concept of case. This is also another technical term associated with any noun. Okay, English, in the case of English, it has prepositions. For instance, to, for, on. We all know about that. And the prepositional phrase, if we have to take as an instance, it will be to the room. Okay, for her, on the table, right? So these can be example in the case of English. In the case of Hindi, which is a modern language, in that it has parasargas. There is a concept called parasarga in Hindi, which is prepositions will come before the noun. I think you have observed that. Okay, in parasargas, before the nouns, yes. In the case of in the case of Hindi, it will be sorry, parasargas, which will be, it associates with a noun uh, um, after that particular noun. Okay, it kind of, we may call it as post propositions kind. I don't know whether it would be a right word, but parasarga means it associates after the noun. So which are some examples of the parasargas? Ko, ke liye, par, etc. The usage will be Ram ko, Ram ke liye, Mej par, and so on. Okay, but in the case of Sanskrit, okay, these suffixes, these kind of suffixes are added to a pratipadika, nominal stem. Okay, now as I told you, those sup suffix which I mentioned earlier, the sup suffixes will be added to pratipadika, which is a nominal stem. Okay, and not only that, there will be, if there are two adjacent sounds, if present, they undergo a sandhi. Another grammatical action will undergoes, which is called as sandhi, which can be translated as, it can be said as phonological change is also important, and it happens. Okay, what phonological change happens, we will look into that at a later stage. But this is also a mandatory thing. And the most difficult part is these suffixes look different in different words. Okay, and there are seven such suffixes in 3 numbers. So we all are good at basic mathematics. So 7 such cases are present and 3 numbers are there. So there are 21 forms to a particular noun. Okay, so when we want to speak or listen to uh, a, a Sanskrit language, whatever words are used, we must be familiarized with all those forms of all those words. Is it? I think it is. It looks like a bit fearful. Okay, but don't worry. We don't need to worry much. I have a declension table of word deva. Okay, deva is the pratipadika, nominal stem. For that, I have shown here in this table all the 21 forms. Okay, devaha, devau, devaha, devam, devau, devan, devena, devabhyam, devaihi, devaya, devabhyam, devebhyah, devat, devabhyam, devebhyah, devasya, देवयोः देवानां देवे देवयोः देवेषु. Okay, these are the 21 forms. Just for clarity, I uttered each and every word. Okay, these are 21 forms available. We may have to understand. Yes, maybe we can start today itself on looking at the by hearting these 21 forms of each and every word. So in how many years we may able to learn all these declension by heart, all these forms. You can look at there are some similarity between Tritiya Dvivachana, Chaturthi Vibhakti Dvivachana, Panchami Vibhakti Dvivachana, but still when it is used while speaking, what is the speaker's intention, in what particular vibhakti he might have or she might have used that, all these calculations, all these information has to be decoded correctly, right? But at least to know whether this form belongs to which particular vibhakti and which particular vachana, that is also another big task, right? And one more information I must inform you. In the case of this English or Hindi instances, you would have observed that in the case of prepositions, it was before the noun, to the room, for her, on the table, like that, right? In the case of Hindi, it was Ram ko, Ram ke liye, mej par. So parasargas and prepositions were kept. I can, in the table itself, I was able to show you separately, right? But in the case of Sanskrit, it will be part of that particular noun. As I said in the beginning, these suffixes are added to a pratipadika. So those suffixes, like in the case of devena or devaya, for deva. Okay, so in the case of English, we are it is clear that for is there, so because of which I can understand that this is the context. But in the case of devaya, whether this is a chaturthi vibhakti ekavachana form or this itself is a pratipadika, these kind of confusions, or how to decide, how to remember all these declension table of each and every word in our mind, Okay, so that's what I have mentioned here. We may have to remember all those 21 forms of any word if we have to speak, read, or understand Sanskrit. Can we able to do that at this particular stage where we are? If it we start from the scratch, it may take many years, right? So what to do now? The morph generator or the Nishpadika will help you in this case. Okay, how? We will look into that. We all know, maybe you might have made note of these links. Let's go to the links. Okay, I have already opened it here. So you all are explored this particular web page already. Okay, in the tools section, Pada Vishleshika comes and Sandhi Vichedika and all are present. So in the case of Pada Nishpadika, which we are discussing now, we will be going to the noun generator, which means Nama Rupa Nishpadika. Okay. When I click on that, it says this interface will come up. Here, there is the input encoding schema also you have already discussed. So I'm not going into that. Okay. It is up to us, whichever, and output encoding also we can choose which one we prefer to see. Okay. Maybe I want output as Devanagari and my input will be in WX notation. Okay. So what I have to do here, I have to write a Pratipadikam. Okay. Let's go with um, the Deva. Okay. Deva I have written. And there is another tab here. It about this we won't be discussing this today, but I know Deva is a Namapada, so I have taken up this. And another important aspect related to any noun is the gender information. All the nouns will have different genders: masculine, feminine, and neuter, which is common in all other languages as well. If you know the gender of this particular word, you may select that. But how can I know? I mean, I'm new to this particular language. How can I know the gender of this particular word, right? Why this option itself is given here? We will be discussing that part also later. Don't worry about that. But just let's see what does this particular generator does in the case of Deva, which is a Pratipadika, nominal stem. Okay. I clicked on Rupani Darshyam. Show me the uh, forms. Just a minute. Maybe I may have to reload it. Sorry, I have not selected the proper notation. If I have to show Deva, I think there might be.
Devanagari डालो Devanagari.
Just a minute. Okay. It's not because of the, but still let me try with that. Oh yeah. Okay. Deva, I have already selected that Pullinga. I want all the forms in Pullinga, and the whole declension table is here. With the help of this,
Sorry,
we may.
Arjunji,
Sorry.
can you make it little bit large?
Yeah, just a minute.
Thank you.
Is it clear?
Yes, I think it's clear.
Okay. Yeah. So you can see the whole declension table is displayed here. Okay. Let me take up another example. Okay, which can be Rama. Okay, the declension table of Rama, word Rama is here. Okay, Ramaha Ramo Ramaha, Ramam Ramo Raman, Ramena Ramabhyam Ramaihi, and so on. Okay, if I give another word, Guru, okay, I have given Guru. Oh, the declension table will be like this: Guru, Guru, Guravaha, Gurum, Guru, Gurun, and so on. Did you observe one thing here? That I tried three words here: Deva, Rama, and Guru. Here, in the case of Deva and Rama, both are ending with the letter A, right? The ending letter, if you look at like how you did it in the first uh, session, if we split the whole Deva word into letters, D, A, V, A, right? So A is the ending word. So, and in the case of Rama, again, it is also ending with letter A. But in the case of Guru, it is not A, right? It is U. So, in the case of a noun can always not be necessarily in a, I mean, sorry. In the case of any noun, it is not necessary that it has to end with a. Okay, it can end with any letter. This is we all know about it. This is a common thing in all the languages, right? In the Sanskrit also, it presents. Even there are some words which ends with consonants as well. We will look into some of the examples at a later stage. But see, any root word, any nominal stem, Pratipadika, you give here as an input, it generates the whole declension table here, right? Because of this, you no need to memorize all the 21 forms of a particular word. Okay, with the help of this declension table, you can do the speaking part. You can able to, I mean, the by heart part is can be skipped. Okay, with the help of this, you will be you will taking the help of this particular generator tool and do the needful work. Okay, and also I mentioned just now that Deva and Rama both are ending with akara, right? What now Guru I have taken, which is a different letter ending word. So that's why I have taken that. But why I have taken Deva and Rama, which are same letter ending word? Let me show you those words once again. Okay. Sorry. In the case of Deva, look at the declension table carefully. Okay. Let me open another. Okay. Here I will go to Namarupa Nishpadika and write Rama. Okay. Cache. Oh, wow. Just a minute. Okay, here it is. Let me. Okay, here are the declension table of Rama. Okay, let us go vibhakti by vibhakti. Which are the 7 vibhaktis? Prathama vibhakti, Dvitiya vibhakti, Tritiya, Chaturthi, Panchami, Shashti, Saptami. These are the 7 main vibhaktis. Another vibhakti is also there, Sampra, which means Sambodhana Prathama vibhakti. Okay, it is what is that? We will discuss later. It is used to address someone. When we are addressing, we will use that particular vibhakti. Okay. It is similar to what vocative is called in English. Anyway, coming back to the point, I have taken two examples, Deva and Rama. Both are ending with A, letter A, right? But still, I would have taken some other letter ending word. I have taken the same ending word. Why? Because there are some differences in some of the forms. How? Look, let us look at vibhakti by vibhakti. In the case of Prathama vibhakti, Devaha, Devau, Devaha. In the case of Ramaha, Rama. In the case of Rama, sorry, Ramaha, Ramo, Ramaha. It looks similar. In the next, Devam, Devau, Devan. Ramam, Ramo, Raman. Perfect. Okay. In the case of Tritiya Vibhakti, it is Devena, Devabhyam, Devaihi. In the case of Rama, it is Ramena, Ramabhyam, Ramaihi. There is a sutra by Panini, Rashabhyam, Nona Samanapade, and also another sutra also applies at Kupwang Vyavayepi. And you don't need to worry about that. We will discuss about all these things at the later stage of this particular course. But because of those rules, this difference in the case of Rama word, it ends with na, and in the case of Deva, it ends with na. Similarly, the same rule applies in the case of Shashti Vibhakti Bahuvachana form, which is Devanam in Deva Shabda. In the case of Rama Shabda, it will be Ramanam. Okay. Rest of the forms looks similar. Okay. It goes, it matches. But in the case of Tritiya Vibhakti Ekavachana and Shashti Vibhakti Bahuvachana, the forms are different. Okay. Devena and Ramena. Na and na are completely different letters. We have already discussed in the previous session that the sthana, the sthana of those two letters are completely different. Okay. So we cannot take it as okay. It is it's almost similar, so we can. There is no need to worry about that. Okay, such subtle differences are also important in the case of Sanskrit, and of course, in the case of I mean, if we change the letter, the meaning, the complete meaning itself may change sometimes. Okay. That's why I have taken Deva and Rama, both the examples, to make all of you to understand these kind of subtle differences are also possible in the case of this declension table. Okay, let us go to some other examples. Okay, in Deva, Guru, yes. Why we have to look at the Pullinga example? Let's go for the Strilinga examples. Okay. What can be the best one? Okay.
Gauri.
Gauri. Okay. Sorry. And we know this is the feminine word, so we don't need to worry about this. I click on the Rupani Darshatam. It shows Gauri, Gauriyau, Gauriyah, Gaurim, Gauriyau, Gaurihi. See, in the case of Rama, it was Ramaha, Ramu, Ramaha. Here, Gauriyah. Okay. Ramam, Ramau, Raman. Gaurim, Gauriyau, Gaurihi. So there is no n here. These kind of differences, sorry, can be possible when it is sorry, related to when the number, gender, and vachana changes. Okay, number, gender, and case differs. Let us take another example, Rama. Okay, which is a name of Lakshmi Devi. Okay, Rama Rame Ramaha, Ramam Rame Ramaha, Ramaya Ramabhyam Ramabhihi. The whole declension table is ready. Okay, with the help of this particular tool, Morph Generator, you don't need to remember each and every forms in all the vibhaktis and vachanas. Okay, this will help you in the case of that. Let us take Mati Shabda. Mati is also a feminine word. Okay, and it will be Matihi Mati Matayaha, Matim Mati. And look at the speed also. It is generating the whole table within, um, in milliseconds, right? And let us go to some of the neuter gender examples, which can be, sorry.
Why are the words underlined?
I will come to that just a minute. Okay, let's look at the Phala. Okay, Phala, which letter is ending here? If we try to
Akara.
split, yeah,
Akara.
yeah, it is Akara ending word. Letter A is ending here, but it is not a Pullinga word. Okay, so I gave Napumsakalinga, and the forms will be completely different. Why? Because Phala Shabda is Napumsakalinga, and the forms will not be like Phalaha, Phalo, Phalaha, something like that. It will be Phalam, Phale, Phalani, Phalam, Phale, Phalani, and so on. Okay. Yeah. Why this is underlined and shown in blue color? Okay, that is which means you can click on that. Okay, you can click on that particular word. Actually, uh, if you click on this particular letter, it shows you how that particular word is created, like how it is formed according to Panini's rules. Okay, all these following rules are applicable to become Phala and Su to become Phalam. Okay, so we don't need to worry about that. I just wanted to inform that feature is also included in here. At a later stage, it will be very interesting for you. But right now, no need to get into that. Okay, we will discuss all those. That is part of Ashtadhyayi simulator. There is a tool developed that will be part of that. We will discuss that at a later stage. This will be too early for that. Okay. Um, if we have to look at another example, Madhu, related to Napumsakalinga, it will be Madhu, Madhuni, Madhuni. Okay, when we looked at the word Guru, which was also Ukaranta, it was Guru, Guravaha. Okay, in the case of Madhu Shabda, which is in neuter gender, it is completely different. It is Madhu, Madhuni, Madhuni. Okay, and we have to give attention to the Haswa Dirga variations as well. Okay, the word Madhu must be uttered as Madhu, not Madhu. Okay, there must not be a length. We must not pronounce it in a lengthy manner, because Madhuri, Madhuni, and Madhuni are two different things. Okay, and it has different meaning as well. So these are the this is the work of Morph Generator. It generates the whole declension table. Okay, which looks completely different at each and every level. All these 21 forms are displayed at once, which will um, eases your process of this learning, or when you are speaking, you don't need to worry or by heart all those 21 forms of a particular noun. Okay, another important point here I wanted to add. I think we may have to give some time for discussion as well. But if we click on this, it will take us to the dictionaries which are present here, which are Amarakosha, Apte Dictionary, Monier-Williams Dictionary, and Heritage Dictionary, which is developed by Professor Gerard Huet. Okay, all these things we will be discussing in the next class. Okay, next session. So I think shall I stop here, or shall I show the dictionaries as well?
Yes, you can demonstrate the dictionary, but then we will go into detail later on also.
Okay, okay.
But of course, you can give one example, show with
Yeah.
one example.
Yeah. In the case of Madhu, which was in Napumsakalinga, now when we want to know the meaning of it, what all meanings can be possible for the word Madhu. Okay. In the case of, if we click on Amarakosha, if it is present there, it displays as follows. The word Madhu is present in these many meanings. Chaitra Masa is also called as Madhu. Pushpa Madhu, the honey, is also called as Madhu. Madhuka Pushpa Krita Madhyam. There is another thing which is created by the honey, that is also called as Madhu. And Sura, in the sense of liquor, the Madhu word is used. This is according to Amarakosha, which is a renowned thesaurus in Sanskrit. Okay. In the case with the Apte Dictionary, Vasanta Rutu, almost all the meanings are present here, which was discussed by Amarakosha. Ashoka Vriksha, also called as Madhu. Okay, this is according to V.S. Apte, Vaman Shivram Apte's dictionary. Okay, if we look at the Monier-Williams Dictionary, according to that, there will be, this will be the meaning: sweet, delicious, pleasant, charming, and so on and so forth. Okay.
Excuse me, sir. How
Yes.
did you get to this page? I did not understand.
Yeah, when you give an input, okay, and you click on Rupani Darshatam, it displays, right? And here, the nominal stem Pratipadika will be present. I click on this, there will be a new page will open. That will have, for the process of displaying, the ease of displaying, I have made the full screen. Okay.
Okay. Got it.
This will
Sir.
pop up, and by which you can access to all the dictionaries. If there are entries present in respective dictionaries, you can get the meaning of it. In the case of Heritage, you will get the this is a Sanskrit French dictionary. You can able to look into the French, the meaning of the word Madhu in French language.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Got it.
Yeah.
Shall we take questions, Arjun?
Yeah,
मधु
yes,
का
sir.
मतलब
Yes.
तो मध होता है ना, मध तो वो क्यों मीनिंग नहीं आता है? जो डोंगरे लोग इकट्ठा करते हैं वो मधु को मध
Excuse me,
बोलते हैं.
Pragya ji, please wait. There are questions already asked in the chat box. If you have a question, you can put it in the chat box and we will answer it. Okay. So the first question was asked by Mohammad Hadidi. He is asking, his question is, what is the difference? Well, before that, I think he had one more question where he asked, what is this Samsadhani Praveshika? He wanted to know more about Samsadhani Praveshika. What is the meaning? Samsadhani is a newly coined word. And we have coined it. It's not there in the dictionary. Sadhana is an instrument. Sadhanani are the instruments. And the instruments or tools for Sanskrit are Samsadhani. So this is how we have coined a new word. And Praveshika is the entrance. So entry level course for the understanding of computational tools. This is the meaning of Sansadhani Praveshika. Then there is a question about what about the avyayas? Arjun had mentioned about nouns and verbs, namapada and the dhatu or kriya pada. What about the avyayas? Avyayas are treated as subantas according to Panini's grammar. So the suffix will be, there is a zero suffix there, null suffix, but they are treated as namapadas. What is the difference between verbal and nominal stems? Verbal stem is a verbal root which takes verbal suffixes, and nominal stem is a nominal root which takes nominal suffixes. Now these two are two different repositories, we can say. In English, like languages, we can have bank, for example, which can take verbal suffixes as well as nominal suffixes. In case of Sanskrit, there is a repository of verbal roots. There are around 2,000 such verbal roots, and they are listed in, the list is called Dhatu Patha. The list of all these verbal roots is called Dhatu Patha. Dhatu means a verbal root. And then there is a school which says that all nouns are derived from these verbal roots. And so there are two schools. One school says all nouns are derived from verbal roots. The other school says no, there are certain nouns which are not derived from verbal roots. Okay, so so for example, Rama is derived from one verbal root, Ramu Kridayam. Similarly, Deva is derived from the Div Dhatu, and so on. So most of these nouns which you find you will see that they are derived from verb, and we will look at this derivation process little later. One derivation process which Arjun had shown, when you click on Ramaha, there was some derivation which showed, which had listed various sutras from the Ashtadhyayi, etc. That is the derivation process which Panini has given. He has given an algorithmic procedure to derive various word forms by combining the nominal stem and the nominal suffix, or verbal stem and verbal suffix, and so on. So that was the process which we saw there. We are not going deep into it because our aim or our goal is not to understand how it is derived, but our goal is to use those words or understand the meaning of those words, and we are not interested in the derivation at this point in time. Then there is another question. Yes, the question by Jivanesh Sandhan is, what was the need to merge suffixes with pratipadikas? What advantage it facilitates compared to languages which do not have this phenomenon? See, now what was the need? Well, this is how the language is developed. Now, it is not that artificially we have created this language. This language was naturally developed in such a way. Now, why a particular language does it and why it does not? Even in modern Indian languages, you will see Telugu, Marathi, or Odia, I think Bangla also to a certain extent, joins these suffixes with the nominal stems. Whereas Hindi, Punjabi, these languages put them, keep them separate. Now, why it behaves is a totally different kind of question, and we are not going to address it here. Offline, we can discuss it later on. Can the same, next question by Satya Sanskritam, can the same Pratipadikam be joined with different linga to generate different Namapada? Well, here we are not joining something with a linga. A Pratipadik has a linga inherent with it. So when I say Rama, Rama is in Pullinga. That Pullinga information is not there somewhere outside the word Rama. We are not joining them together. Yes, but there are certain Strilinga suffixes, feminine suffixes, which are added to certain Pratipadikas, certain nominal stems, which result in feminine forms. But that derivation process we will be looking at little later. But otherwise, we have typically a Pratipadika or nominal stem with which the gender is inherent with it. Okay. Okay, then the next one, what is the meaning of Prathama, Dvitiya? Yes.
Ma'am, can I just like, if the linga is already there inherently in the Pratipadikam, then why are we selecting gender there from the drop down?
Okay, because there are certain words which can occur in more than one linga.
That was my question. Thank you.
Yeah. Yes.
Suppose one question here is this.
Just 1 minute.
Don't know the gender.
Please, if you do not know the gender, you can try various things and see where if you will have to then click select various genders. Suppose you do not know the gender of Rama, you select Pullinga. If you get the forms, fine. Then you can click on the word and see whether it is the meaning which is desired. Similarly for Napunsaka, etc. So you can try various lingas. If the word does not exist in that linga, machine will just show empty table. Okay. The next question is by again Surya. What is the meaning of Prathama, Dvitiya, Tritiya, etc.? These are these are actually the names of the vibhaktis. Prathama is 1, Dvitiya is 2, Tritiya is 3, Chaturthi is 4.
No, what I meant is, what is the significance of these numbers? No.
Now, what is the significance of this number? Now, we will be looking at what each of these, how and when these vibhaktis are used, etc. We will be looking at them later on. Okay. And here we have not given the corresponding equivalents in Hindi or English. In the next class, we will also tell you the translations of these in English into English as well as Hindi. So roughly you will know what each of them stand for, and then we will see when to use which vibhakti. All these things we will be looking at little later.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, is there Sanskrit Kannada dictionary online? As far as I know, I don't know any such dictionary, but we will explore, and if we will search, and if there is anything, we will let you know. Yes, Dr. Pavan Kumar has answered the question. In order to form a pada, we need to add suffixes to a pratipadikam. We cannot use just pratipadika or just pratyaya, we cannot use in a language. This is what I think Dr. Pavan Kumar wants to say. Do you want to add anything, Pavan? Well, how do we know the pratipadikam? Yes, very interesting question. And how do we know whether this is a pratipadikam or not? So, as you study, see, for any, whenever you study any language, the vocabulary will be given to you. There will be a dictionary. There will be a repository of nouns, verbs, etc. So we will also give you some vocabulary to begin with, and then slowly you can add to it as you go on learning or reading various texts. You yourself will acquire the vocabulary. Vedesh Varkhedkar, meaning of Devena. I didn't get your question. Similarly, Bhavani Raman, could you please explain about Nadhi Shabda? What is it, Nadhi Shabda? Yes.
Good evening, ma'am. This
Yes.
is Nadi Sabda.
Nadi. Okay, Nadi Shabda you want to say. Okay.
I
Yeah.
find a different version in the page, in the present page that you showed, ma'am. That is why why that's different versions are there, I don't know. I'm trying to learn doing Roop Siddhi. So I would like to know more why I have got a different, there is a different version with Pratama and Dvitiya. I would like to know.
Nadi, have you selected Nadi Strilinga? Yeah. And a different version means I didn't get what do you mean by different version?
I learned Nadi as Nadi, Nadyo, Nadyaha.
Huh?
Here it is Nadihi, Nadi, Nadyaha is there, ma'am. And the second.
May I answer this?
Yes.
Yes.
Bhavani Bhagini, you have entered the Rasva Nadi, not Nadi Shabda. Nadi is the Dirgha word, Dirgha Ikara. Nadi is the Pratipadika there. So that's what we were discussing. The letters are very much important. The Rasva and Dirgha, these are very important. So Nadi, which you are looking at, which you are familiar with, which represents the meaning of river, that is Nadi. The Ikaranta. Ikara is the ending letter, not Ikara. Nadi is something else, which when you were typing, you have to be careful. You have to enter Nadi. Then you will get the Nadi, Nadyo, Nadyaha, which you are familiar with. Okay?
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Okay. Then there is a question on how to get Roman diacritics letters to input in the source field for transliteration. We will provide a manual for this. Already a manual has been created and is available. Let me share my screen and show you the manual page. And we will add information regarding this manual also in a couple of days. So the manual is available at sanskrit.uohyd.ac.in/manual. I will add it in the chat box as well. This is the link for manual. You can access this manual from this link. So we have right now for transliterator as well as morphological generator. Whatever your extra questions are, we will keep adding the information here so that you can refer to them anytime. Please give us 1 or 2 more days. Meanwhile, if you cannot enter the Romanized, the diacritic marks, you can use other schemes which we have explained already for input. So either you can use WX or iTrans or SLP, Kyoto Harvard, etc.
Thank you.
Madam?
Yes, just 1 minute. Let me finish these questions. And then in the morph, the question is, in the morph generator, can I input any vibhakti for a noun and get the 21 forms. So you are not entering any vibhakti, you are giving only the pratipadikam in the morph generator. What you are giving is Rama, Deva, such pratipadikams, and what it produces is all the 21 forms. You are not entering Ramasya or Ramena as the input. We will be looking at how to get the analysis of it, or by entering Ramasya, how do I get all the forms of the word Rama, etc. All those things we will be looking at little later. Now let us first see these 21 forms, how to get from the Pratipadikas. Then in the lecture, all English words in place of Devanagari, and also for Hindi, also for English, this is more confusing. I didn't get what is this. Well, Devanagari display was not there, but we will add the Devanagari display also, and we will upload the slides. Only in Roman diacritic it was displayed today. There was some issue with the getting it in Devanagari. We will fix it, and when we upload the PDF, it will have the Devanagari also. Sorry for that confusion. Then in the morph generator, if we give a word, say Madhu, but give wrong gender, will it show an error? No, it will not show an error. It will just show a blank table. That's it. Okay. Like other languages, in Sanskrit are new nominal words or verbal words added to in its lexicon. Well, actually, you know that the languages, they keep growing. Nowadays, many people are using Sanskrit for day-to-day communication. So they themselves have added several words. For example, rotika is added for roti, and so on. There are several words which are added to the lexicon. If you there are various websites also. We will tell you about those websites where the words of day-to-day conversation, etc., are available. Sanskrit Hindi, Sanskrit English dictionaries are available for day-to-day conversation words and so on. What is the exact meaning of Pratipadika? Pratipadika means prati, you know, prati means every. Pada is the word. Pratipadika is the part that comes in every word. So Ramaha, Ramau, Ramaha, Ramam, Ramau, Raman. In each of these words, Rama, Rama, Rama is there, which occurs in every pada. So it is the Pratipadika. That which occurs in every pada is Pratipadika. In all the languages, there are only Ekavachan, Bahuvachan. Why does Sanskrit uses Dvivachana? Any special reason for it? Yes, okay. So go and search. There are few other languages which use Dvivachana. And maybe you think, you look at the history. I am not going to give any answer for this right now. You may search for other languages which uses Dvivachana. It's not only Sanskrit which uses Dvivachana. Shweta Gangopadhyay, what was your question? Will you please ask? I'm sorry if I have missed.
Her question was, what is the Vargas in the Amarakosha?
What is the
concept of Vargas in Amarakosha?
What are the
Vargas? I have.
Oh, okay. Well, the Amarakosha is a kind of thesaurus. I'm saying a kind of thesaurus. It's not exactly thesaurus, which has several divisions, or the adhyayas. It has 3 parts, and each part has subdivisions further. Those subdivisions are called the Vargas. Okay. these vargas actually refer to various concepts. For example, there is one Swarga Varga where the words related to Swarga are mentioned. There is a Kshatriya Varga where the words related to a king, kingdom, etc. are there, and so on. There is a Simhadi Varga where the animals, names of animals, the equivalent words of various animals, etc. are listed, and so on. Well, then there is a question. Is this the first class? No, this is not the first class. This is the second class. And all the recordings of all the classes will be available to you in learnx.uhyd.ac.in. There you will have to log in. Why do Rama and Deva have different declensions? This is, there are, now why some word have different declensions? It's there in the language. Well, this is how the language language uses the words. But then there is an explanation, or there is a rule given by Panini after observing these differences. So there are ending words. They form ending words in masculine. They form, belong to two different categories. One category where na changes to na, and the other category where na remains as it is. Now, what are the, how do I know whether a word belongs to first category or the second? For that, Panini has given some rules, and we will be discussing these rules. We will be giving you these clues so that when you form the third case singular word form, you will not make any mistake, because you will be using those rules.
Is the access given
For
to this morph generator for all, or all these tools are only those
Yes.
who enrolled for this?
No, these are given, the morph generator knows these rules. Okay.
No.
But
For all the tools, access is given to all, or even only for those who enrolled for this course?
no. All these tools are available for free for last several years on our websites. Okay. So this access is free to everybody, whether you enroll for the class or not. Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. And then, yes, these links are already given in the this PDF which Dr. Arjun has shown. We will be sharing those, and these are also there. If you go to the manual page, on manual page, all these links are there. So you go to sanskrit.uhyd.ac.in/manual, and all the links will be available there. Here in chat box also, all these links are given. We will be sending you a Google form. We are thinking of 3 sessions, one in the morning from 9 to 10 on Saturday, then Saturday 9 to 10 AM IST, then another session from 6 to 7 or 5 to 6, I don't remember, in the evening, 5 to 6 PM IST, and the third one from 9 to 10 PM IST again. We will send you the Google form. You choose which slot suits you, and you can join those slots. Okay. And then,
ma'am, is it possible?
Yes?
Is it possible? I'm Prema here. Is it possible that in case I miss, I sign up for a slot and I'm not able to, for some reason, join the slot that day? Can I join the same day? Can I join the?
You can join, but then you will have to take permission, because it should not happen that many of you miss one and then join the other one, making it a crowded one. Okay, so you will have to take our permission. You will have to just inform us and we will give you permission.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah, so yes, there is a question from Saugandhi Sarath. Will we have access to these MOV links, etc. indefinite period? Yes, I told you that these are available online for years and these will be available to everybody. And if you have Linux machine, if you want to have it offline on your machine, you can again have them on your machine as well. There is a question from Christian. Does the MOV generator recognize the various forms so we can input any form and it will know which word it is? Yes, we will be, it's not the generator, it is the analyzer. Once we look at the generator, we will go to analyzer and see how this analyzer can help us in understanding the word form, etc. And then any other question have I missed? I think that's it. So,
Can I ask, madam?
Yeah, yes, Pradnya ji. Yes.
How to go to chat box? मेरा chat box नहीं आ रहा है.
I didn't get what is meant by checkbox.
Chat box आपने बोला you can write your answers in chat box, but I am not able to reach at chat box.
Well, we will have discussion offline. Okay, you can call me later and then we will have the discussion offline. Okay. Yeah.
Ma'am, may I ask one question?
Yes. Yes.
Ma'am, I have opened Namaroop Nishpadika and I have put the input encoding as Unicode Devanagari and output encoding also the same. But when I write the, say for example, Deva, it is not taking the Devanagari script. Does it have something to do with my keyboard? Do I need to
I think so. Yes, if you are using, I don't know what kind of keyboard and which fonts you are using. If it is not Unicode, it will not accept. You need to provide it in Unicode Devanagari. Otherwise you just switch over to Roman and then not Roman diacritic, but the normal Roman with WX or any other. And that will be easier. The Devanagari keyboards are not Devanagari keyboards supplied by people who do not use Unicode are not of any use.
Okay. So because I'm getting them in the mobile, but in the laptop, it's not taking the Unicode.
So that Devanagari Unicode, it must not, whatever you are typing in might not be in Devanagari Unicode. It might be in some other scheme.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. And yes.
Ma'am, I have a quick question for you.
Yes.
In the core syllabus, it is mentioned that we will be taking our first assignment this weekend, this Friday on 29th.
Yeah. Yes.
So how will that assignment be? Is it a written where we have to write something?
These will be the self-evaluation kind of thing. So you will be learning. Don't worry. Okay. Don't get panic about all this. Okay. Yeah.
Gautam sir and a couple of others have raised their hands. Yes.
Yeah. Please. You can call them one after another.
Yeah. Gautam.
Yes, Professor Gautam Sengupta.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Will you please ask your question? Unmute yourself and ask the question. Hello.
Maybe a technical issue.
Yeah, maybe. Then Vyas, H. Vyas.
Yeah.
Yes, Namo Nama, ma'am.
Namaste.
I would like to know when will be the exam.
See, all this information is already uploaded in learnnext.uhyd.ac.in. You please log in there and you will get the information.
Okay. And ma'am, evening, night 9 to 10 batch, is it there?
Yes, 9 to 10, we will have a discussion session. I will be sending you a form and then you can fill in and inform me about
So
it.
on mail it will come?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Hello, Ambaji. I think.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, I really enjoyed this session. So both Arjunji and you deserve to be highly congratulated.
Thank you,
Very
sir.
lucid, very nice. I just had a minor suggestion.
Huh.
Since most of us will be accessing from the even on the basis of what has been presented today, many of us will be accessing dictionaries.
Yes.
Now, I think for the beginners, the dictionary notations can be a little confusing to the extent of even becoming overwhelming. It might be if you could, kind of have a walkthrough.
Yeah. Fine.
On that.
Sure. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for the suggestion. So next class, we will do that. Yeah. Yes. Rama Radhakrishnan.
Yes, madam. Namo Namaha. I am not able to get all the 21 vibhaktis, whatever, 7 into 3, this one table. When I input WX alphabetic, output as Devanagari, I am getting only Rama, Sri, Ek. Tools, I have to go to tools, no?
Well, Ramaji, what I suggest you is you please contact me separately. I will sort out your problem. Okay? Yeah, you write to me. You write to me separately, and I will get in contact with you and try to resolve your problem. Okay?
Email. I have to email you.
Yeah, first email, and then we will see. We can have a phone call or whatever, and then I will sort out your problem.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Sita Raman Subramanya.
Ma'am, Pragna Sudhagar is waiting from.
No, she already asked the question.
Oh, okay. Let me lower her.
Yes.
Namaste,
Sita Raman. Yes, namaste.
This thing is whether these sites are HTTP. That sort of secure, it says.
Yeah. This secure. It is not HTTPS. It is HTTP. We are sorry for that. We need to work out on that part. Okay. But
virus infection will be there, or
no. There won't be any viral infection. That much I will assure. But I will work on it towards making it secured. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. So let us stop the session now. It is already 7:30. Namaste, everybody. Dhanyavad.
One information, sorry to interrupt. I have given in the chat section to explore this morph generator. Several examples have been given. Okay,
yes.
Posting the same. They can all the participants can explore with the morph generator. I have given a couple of pratipadikas. Okay, I pasted once again. Okay, Varna, Pushpa, Dhana, Mani, Kriya, Vani, Kapi, Vasu. Okay, they can also test with, explore with many other pratipadikas as well.
Yes. So Arjun, I have a suggestion. Why don't you add all these words in your slides, and then we will upload them on the website. Okay.
Sure, definitely.
On LearnX. So you please add all these words and also mention the gender. Napunsaka, Pullinga, Strilinga, etc.
I will prepare a table.
Okay.
That would be good.
Okay. Thank you very much. Namaste.
Thank you very much. Dhanyavad.
Suggestion.
Dhanyavad, Mahoday. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.